a lot of things can be the same, right? We absolutely want to make sure we have explicit and systematic instruction. We want to have a lot of the same interventions and components, and we want to make sure we're balancing foundational skills and comprehension and those two strands too, right? Like decoding and language comprehension all the way through. But some of the things that can be more important for linguistically diverse students is that we are not just talking about one thing at a time, right? So we're not just phonemically segmenting words into like lovely Alcona boxes, but that we also talk about what those words mean, right? And use them in meaningful contexts that can help connect students who may or may not feel connected to the language of it, like the language the teacher is speaking for their phonics instruction. Lots of connections between the oral language and vocabulary pieces that you're teaching and the phonics instruction. I often see these done as like completely separate components. We're like going to decode a bunch of words over here, and then we're going to do language instruction over here. But helping kids bridge those two things is very important for kids, for linguistically diverse students. And making sure that we're progress monitoring and setting appropriate assessment targets, that we don't just like have one sort of like bad assessment because they were confused by how you were saying words or whatever at the beginning, and then just place them in an intervention group and never see them again, right? But we're actually like paying attention to the progress that they're making and recognizing it when it's happening. And some of that has to do with our assessment tools, which need to be more culturally and linguistically diverse also. But some of it's just like making sure we're really tuned in to what they are doing and can see and seeing what they're doing throughout the instruction. So we do want to make sure we're still doing that orthographic mapping, like helping them connect letters and sounds. But we want to make sure we're not changing or fixing children's speech as part of this instruction or denigrating their language when we're doing this instruction.